probably should have looked at the weather before I picked the draw, because Carlevo would have loved being on top of the ground. He doesn't love the soft ground. Everybody knows he's not the fastest horse in the world, but in the soft ground, it's real hard work for him. But he kept trucking, and he kept trying, and I feel like we did what we could do. And Jack, he's just the ultimate trier, and there are a lot of question marks as whether he's really a 4-star horse, never mind a 5-star horse. And we've been on the floor a few times, and I've always believed in him. Nobody tries harder, and he was amazing yesterday. I kicked myself. I should have gone faster or whatever. But we have a horse to go to Fair Hill with, and as I said, the Cat proved that he's a 5-star horse now. Let's prove that we can be a top 10 5-star horse. So, we have 2 sound horses going home, 3 sound horses. One didn't go very far. A little bit disappointed, but we needed the conditions to be perfect for Carlevo, and it didn't work out in our favor this time. Sure. But he'll be back.
And we got the really, really sad news that we unfortunately lost the legend himself, Reggie, Ballynoe Castle RM. I know you probably were riding kind of in his memory, and you've had a lot of really incredible experiences here at Kentucky with Reggie. Would just love to hear a few words on how you've been kind of shouldering that this weekend and going on.
Yeah, Andrea told me when I got back in the camper after the dressage on Friday, and when she first told me, I sort of compartmentalized things and like, okay, I got to worry about the cross country. But then I'm like, did the Seagulls know? And she said no, and so I obviously had to call them. I didn't want them to hear from anybody else. And as soon as Carl answered the phone, I just broke down. I was hysterical kind of, so I handed the phone to Andrea, and poor Kathleen, she was crying all Friday night, and I could tell yesterday she was, her eyes were all red all day, and I said, you okay? And she said that she'd been crying all day. And, Kathleen's had a rough go with her, with the divorce and all that kind of stuff, and, it's truly part of her family. Reggie's part of all her family, but I feel terrible for Kathleen. She's like, I just rode him the other day, and he looked amazing. Like, he looked like he could have come here. I said to Carl, I said, we could use Reggie on Saturday. And, but thankfully he didn't suffer, and we didn't have to make any decisions. And, the kids were riding him last week, and, look, none of us get out of here alive. What a way to go, right? He just was able to lay down and go to sleep.
Yeah. If I had to put you on the spot and say, what's your favorite memory with Reggie? If not here, maybe anywhere. It doesn't have to be here. What would you pick?
One of my favorite things, was obviously Kathleen going down the aisle, and that was pretty cool. But here, I was in a 3-way tie with Andrew Nicholson. I think it was Sinead and Reggie. So before I went to the cross country, I needed to find out, what their times were. And so as I jumped the last, I was able to slow down and be inside their time. And then I remember Sinead, I think, jumped clear, and I remembered I'd added somewhere on a curve, and I needed to leave a stride out somewhere, and I couldn't do it anywhere. And then the last line, I knew I had to do it, otherwise I had a time fault. So I went down the line in 5, and it should have been 6 or something. And he was amazing. I'll never forget that, and the cheer that happened was unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so happy that you had a great weekend here with your 2 horses, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here again soon.
Thanks, Al.